Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage Podcast, episode 155. I am Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Siniski.
That's me.
And Janice here as well.
Hello.
Hi guys.
Happy Pi Day.
Happy Pi Day.
Yes, today is Pi Day. We have
0.14.
a pizza pie.
We do, which is being split by the camera. They're perfect. All right.
There.
Excellent.
It was
excellent.
supposed to have a pie logo on it, but the dude burnt the pizza and then had to quickly remake it. I was the only customer there.
I was going to say, I've been to a couple restaurant and food establishments since this whole, we'll say human malware, to coin the gamer's nexus phrase, thing has come up. And, the people are very appreciative that you're there, and there aren't many people there.
Yeah.
So, anyway, whatever. It doesn't
I think
matter.
he forgot how to make pizza.
That could be. Maybe he's got the electric boogaloo.
However, my donuts are delicious.
So what are those?
They're basically little cinnamon rolls, but made of pesto pizza.
Oh, this is Pizza Blaze.
Yeah.
I love this place.
Yeah, it's the best. And so the donuts are my favorite because they're like $3 cheaper than that pizza right there.
Okay.
It's like the same amount of calories. And I get pesto, cheese, and dough anyway. So I'm like, this is...
Because I'm lactose intolerant, so...
That's a bummer.
We like Alfredo, but we found pesto's better than red sauce. So.
Yeah, and their pesto is vastly superior to their red sauce. So
yeah,
just got a picture from a coworker in the inside of an Audi. Ugh.
Why is he in there?
Yikes.
But yeah,
So
I'll start off with what I'm drinking. I'm
Sure.
drinking an oat milk latte with vanilla from Caribou,
That sounds
I'm
pretty good.
opening
and
my
then
drink.
water in my my favorite people call me Nana mug because I am Nana.
Oh, I'm
That was
rip
very
headphone
loud.
users.
So
But it's not because you're a grandmother.
No,
it's
no,
Jana
it's-
Banana Nana.
Yeah, it's because Jana's really hard
Slowly
for...
degraded.
J's are very hard for children and
Yana?
people with weird
And
accents.
Hispanic folks.
Yeah, it's just hard for people to pronounce, and so I get Nana a lot, and I grew up being called Nana, so I am just Nana, even though that most people identify that with grandma.
I'm just opened up a Liftbridge Farm Girl.
I'm just opened up.
Yes,
I'm just opened up
Sounds good.
a Liftbridge Farm Girl.
he
It is
opened up for the Liftbridge.
yummy saison. And
Saison.
It's
I
quite good.
love. That's one of my favorite beers, not because of how it tastes, because it's impossible to drink it quickly.
No, you really can't. And it's a perfect summer beer.
It's very, very good,
And
and it
it's-
is really not summer today.
You know what? It's not Sub-Zero and there's not 8 feet of snow, so it's summer.
What are we at? It was 27, I think, when I got here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that was
let's
the
see.
coldest day of the week though so far.
My phone says
My watch said
27.
26.
It
so I
said
don't know.
26.
It said 27 in the car. So the Twin Cities Auto Show that we were
but
at.
before we do that, Patreon.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's just fine. I will cover
Let's
that,
talk
and
about
then let's hop
Patreon.
right in.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna nuke my
That sounds
donuts.
like a good
And
plan.
will you preheat the
Yeah, set the
oven?
toaster oven to 300. We want to do it slow. Head on over to patreon.com/carbitrage. When you get there, you will find 2 open-ended levels of potential support that you will be able to do that benefits us directly. I believe the first one is $1.50 or more per month, and the other one is $5 or more per month. The $1.50 level does not come with any fringe benefits, but it does make you feel better by buying us a beer approximately once per month. The $5 level will actually get you a Carbitrage t-shirt, which I have in stock as long as you are not a 4X or extra small. So definitely head on over there and check it out. In the future, we will hopefully have some more swag for you Patreon patrons. We definitely do appreciate the ones we have. And even if you don't feel like doing that, we will still keep on making the content. So patreon.com/carbitrage.
We're here whether or not you support us on Patreon, because we just like talking to ourselves
Yeah,
and
that's-
recording it. It's
I think we found the ideal balance, because when we recorded every Saturday, it was getting to be a bit much for me anyway.
And we couldn't keep up the quality either because
Right,
there's
we
only
couldn't
so
find
much
enough stories.
Well, I mean, we could cover all the automotive news in the world, which is fine, but
we want
not
to
a
curate
lot
it
of
a little
yeah,
bit more.
not a lot of that was really great. I really like actually doing great things because I take this seriously. Anyway, so the Twin Cities Auto Show that we were at last week.
Yeah, that's where it came
thank
to
God
live
we
from.
are not there now because actually it's closed down because of coronavirus. But
Whoops, I'll have to edit my last story. I didn't even read your notes.
oh really? But yeah, the Twin Cities Auto Show got canceled. For
It did.
for the
yeah.
last weekend.
I think yesterday they finally were like, in order to make sure everyone stays as healthy as possible, we are effective immediately canceling the last days of the Twin City Auto Show. I mean, that's not terribly surprising because a lot has changed, I guess.
in the week.
In
like,
the
over
week,
the course of the
right?
week, yeah,
I mean,
'cause-
it's gone from like, oh, it's not a big deal, Minnesota, no cases, whatever, Anoka County, to like, yeah, we're basically Italy 11 days ago, so let's take care of this. I mean,
Yeah.
schools have been closing, government facilities have been closing, a lot of restaurants are closing. Just,
I think it's actually.
I'm even thinking about working from home, but
It's
Yeah.
actually really funny. A lot of people have been, or I guess a lot of the reporters in Italy are saying, yeah, Italy, a nation notorious for people cutting in line, has now become the
Italian personal space is the worst thing ever for this because it translates
Well,
so
they're,
easily.
they're like, we've never seen Italian people follow the rules like this. This is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And on the plus side, Pornhub.com has made their premium service free for
That is
everyone
true.
in Italy. So
That is
props to
actually
you,
true.
Pornhub.
So in the secret automotive media professionals collective Facebook kind of group, it's not really a secret. It's just where a bunch of automotive
Just get to the punchline.
media professionals are on Facebook. They have a comprehensive list of everything that's not canceled in the automotive world.
Okay.
And this is what the post says. It says, can we start a list of what's not canceled? 1, blank space. First comment. That is a strong, comprehensive, and seemingly complete list. Well done, sir. There is nothing that isn't canceled.
Yeah, I mean, the
Yeah.
stock market's getting timeouts, crypto's in the toilet, like everything is.
Yeah, so Ryan and I are gonna buy a house.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
John and Amanda are still looking. I got links in the Discord. In fact, I'm sure you guys
Yeah.
saw it. You're in the Discord.
I
But
haven't like looked at them yet, but I see them pop up.
I will say
I
the
read everything
Carbitrage
on
Discord is surprisingly active.
Yeah.
I added my coworker Ryan Barton, who is actually a Patreon patron. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan.
I
Oh,
added him yesterday.
yeah.
He's Wow Cars.
Yeah, he's the dude that I
You ran into at the van
yeah,
show.
the van show. Yeah. Hello.
I'm actually headed there for dinner this evening. So.
The van show.
Fun.
No, not the van show. Thank you, Ryan. God damn it. No.
Yeah, there's a lot. So if you're like hesitant on becoming a Patreon, the Discord is lit like all the time.
And if you already have a Discord account, Patreon will automatically add you to the
Yeah.
Discord. If it does not, please email me at motorcult@ovalbore.com and I will add
Especially
you.
for like cat posting and memes.
And dank
It's
memes. I just
dank
added a
memes.
dank memes
Yeah.
category about a week ago, and it is lit.
Yeah.
It is at least one fire emoji, possibly more. So, anyway, I didn't mean to steal the thunder there. I am so happy to be back in the studio.
Yes.
Holy crap. Yeah.
I mean,
You can't get coronavirus here.
that's true, and I forgot, like, this setup, it took a long time to iron it out.
Yeah.
It
and
feels
I
really good.
remembered that after the audio survived,
But,
thank God, from the
yeah.
auto show, but the video and the audio didn't.
Yeah.
So, like, I have the video, that's okay. I have an audio track, but the video's in MKV format, and the audio just won't merge. I spent I think I spent 7 hours trying to get that together, and I'm just like, screw this. It's not worth my time.
That's
Just post them up separately. They can-
yeah, that's a tremendous amount of messing around.
And I have a Threadripper. Like, I can...
Yeah.
It's quick to do video stuff, but it wouldn't take. So I'm sorry, the ones of you... oh, the camera did get knocked.
Oh, it did.
Mine did. Can you just tilt that one down a little bit?
Yeah, it's just focusing on me.
That's weird. Is the cord just... Try it. There's a little foot on the back. See if you can
Technical
just squeeze it
difficulties.
together a little bit, and that should aim it down.
Oh.
More. All right, that's
Yeah,
better.
that's
Thank you for telling me. I didn't even notice that.
There we go. I straightened it too.
Perfect. Thank you. That's. Oh, you can even see the pie. The pizza pie.
There we go. Perfect.
But yeah, it's sad, but it's totally understandable
Yeah.
to cancel that. I mean,
Yeah.
schools are done. and-
Well, yeah, it's whatever, but I think it'd be more sad if somebody, like, got coronavirus and died at the auto show. That would kind of suck. Like, I
Right.
don't want that to happen to people. So, you know what? Enjoy us on the internet. That's what it's for.
Yeah. And I was talking to, because, like, I work in early education.
Mhm.
Every parent has been asking me, well, what are you guys going to do? What are you guys going to do? And so, like,
Are you
we
like
finally...
checking the temperature of kids as they come in, or?
No, because like it doesn't really show up in children.
Okay.
So we've just been cleaning a shit ton. Like I literally had a bottle of bleach explode on me, and I was like,
Bleach
I
cocky.
do have extra clothes in my car, but you know what? I'm just gonna leave the bleach on me, and then I'll be safe. And you know, those jeans or those leggings are already bleach stained anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I will say, this has birthed some of the best memes I have ever
Yeah.
seen.
Oh yeah, it started with Kung Flu, but it's gotten funnier from there. Like,
Just like me and my boys at the car show season in 2020, everyone's in a hazmat
Yeah.
suit doing. I'm just like, yeah.
So
pretty much.
we're taking those precautions, but finally a lead teacher and I cornered like our director and we're like, so everything's canceled because she's a Vikings cheerleader and their
Okay.
tryouts were canceled. And I was like, oh, you can practice more. And she's like, my gym was canceled too. Like they
Yeah,
closed
I
down
mean,
her gym.
Racing, if it's still going on, is going on with empty stands.
Yeah.
yes,
Most schools are like, yeah, sorry. Because,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you what though.
the most affected people are the old folks in
Yes.
society. But, I mean, children, as you were saying, I mean,
They're
they're generally
carriers.
carriers.
But they don't experience symptoms other than like a
Yikes.
And
Oh,
cops.
yikes.
yeah.
So, one thing though, I imagine street racing is probably lit in the country parts of the country where it's nice and warm outside. It sounds very fun. Very
Mhm.
jealous of everyone that gets to do that. I wish I could. It's just cold outside and I can't.
You could.
You could.
Alone.
Would.
Maybe with
Nah.
like one person.
Just use, like, Zello. Don't talk to people with your mouth. Use
Yeah.
it. No, like in person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Use electronic mouths.
We should all
Um,
learn sign language.
That would actually be pretty cool.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, where it's warm out, I do kind of envy that because,
Yeah.
as we learn, like the virus has a little bit more difficulty transmitting when it's warm out. But
Yeah.
I think the thing that would really kill it off more quickly would be like smoke.
Like an
Yeah.
excess of just soot.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a really poorly tuned diesel with
Yes.
emissions deletes.
Oh, that sounds perfect.
Oh, like,
Oh, how strangely topical.
as I say, like it sounds like the Diesel Brothers.
So we are all well aware that deleting emissions devices on vehicles in the United States is a felony.
Oh,
It's a
really?
federal felony.
Yes, it is.
And
That's
the
why
Diesel Brothers
every
on
car I've ever
YouTube-
owned always has additional catalytic converters.
More cats. And like honestly, who likes to smell a non-catalyzed vehicle? It's just
Yeah.
not great.
No,
Unless
it's
it's really old.
Yeah, it never smells good. And really, the best smells like those like mid 2000s Toyota and Mazda catalytic converters, where it kind of smell like eggs. Reminds me
Oh.
of breakfast.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
I do
that
love
is
breakfast.
My
Certainly
Sienna does-
wonderful.
That's what I start off most mornings.
However, it's weird. It always smells good in America. As soon as you get off American soil, where it's no longer a federal felony, it smells like hot garbage. So
Weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. I think
I
it's something with the air.
Especially, it's like, maybe that's why the carb exists. C-A-R-B.
Because it makes catalytic converters smell good.
So anyway, for those of you, I hope you're in this camp of people that do not know about the quote-unquote Diesel Brothers. They are an internet persona, kind of like a Cletus, and they publicly show them deleting emissions
no.
devices essentially on U.S. registered street legal vehicles. So the EPA found out about this, and they issued them $848,000 in fines.
Wow.
So
okay.
good, great. I
Yeah,
think
I
that's,
really hope that goes to like cleaning up some nasty ecological mess, because that money can do a lot for conservation.
absolutely. I just like you were saying. I hope it actually goes there
Yeah.
and doesn't
Well,
just sit in a EPA
I mean,
fund bank.
that is one thing. However, looking in the further future, I'm not very thrilled about this because what's next? Are they gonna?
I'm not saying don't delete your emissions shit and tune your car, but don't post it on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Well, no, this is a thing. Like, what's next? Are they gonna go after Bisimoto for his twin turbo Porsche that doesn't have a catalytic converter in California, even though
No,
it passes
because
emissions?
the chassis and the VIN itself are exempt.
Okay. Well,
So I mean, that's why exempt car chassis are worth so much in California.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's
But
why
yeah,
like, the Blubskis of the world are very sought after.
I think Diesel Brothers are dumb, but I mean, I still think that's a ridiculous fine and a ridiculous thing to sue somebody over.
Well,
Like, if-
yes and no, but this wasn't one truck. I mean, this was
Yeah, I think-
dozens.
I think it's like, well, I mean, it's done in the name of entertainment, not in the name of like, if it was a shop and the shop's whole
It is
business.
a shop.
Oh, they are. Oh, yeah. Well, that sucks for them. Then
Spark-
okay, I thought
Sparks Motors.
I did not know it was an actual shop. I thought that was just a TV show.
Nope.
Okay, well then yeah, screw them. Like
Pretty much. Again, I get what you're saying. I agree. I like to, on the down low, be potentially able to maybe
Possibly.
not restore emissions equipment in a vehicle that
have failed.
may have had it or failed at some point but wasn't in there when I got the vehicle.
Yeah, of course. Usually by the time most of us are done tuning a vehicle, it runs so much better that it will pass emissions.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I have personally, I mean this genuinely, I've never removed an emissions device from a functional vehicle.
Yeah.
I have plenty from cars I've bought for $300 and scrapped, sure, but they're they're junk titles. They're squeezed into washing machines. It doesn't matter. But like catalysts are not a hindrance anymore. You can get
No,
open
they're
cell
not.
cats and it's a little bit of expense, but you have a usable
Actually,
car.
you know what I'm surprised isn't like a cool thing like for people to do. So in rally cars, they are required to run a catalytic converter. So they run them as far away from the engine as possible to create as little restriction. That's why if you ever see pictures of rally cars from the 2000s and the 90s, they always had a that glowing red exhaust. That was a catalytic converter as placed as a muffler.
As long as you can keep them good and hot,
Yeah.
because with
Yeah.
the laws of fluid dynamics, the ceramic needs to be glowing red
Toasty.
hot for
And
it
that's
to
the thing
pass.
is, it actually looks super cool.
You obviously don't know that person.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a scam call, Washington D.C.
Yeah, no. But I mean, that's the thing
Hello,
is like,
welcome to Carbitrage.
but with
How can I help you?
But no, like with like
From U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration. The reason of this call is to spend your social insurance number on an immediate
Ooh.
basis.
Bye.
Suspicious trade
that was a.
information with your social
Please continue.
Anyway, so I think it'd just be cool to have that be like the new hot thing for cars. Is like you put the catalytic converter at the very end, so you see it glowing red hot.
Yeah.
Because that actually looks super cool.
The
like,
99
That's one of my coolest. That's one of my favorite things on rally cars. It's the glowing red hot.
The
catalytic
991
converter.
GT2, the twin turbo
Yeah.
RS car, has the cats like between the turbos and the exhaust pipe because that's the only
Wow.
room they have, and they glow all the time.
Yeah,
That's
That
super
sounds,
cool.
like the
I think
the
it'd look
glow
really
of a
cool.
cat is so pretty.
It would look really cool,
Like-
especially like even if you had it further back a little bit and like if you had a straight shot with like a straight through muffler and you could
that's
see it
Yeah.
glowing
Essentially,
through.
You
what
know-
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
You know
I love
what?
glowing cats.
Like glowing cats remind me of glass blowing.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, it's
And that's
effectively
like
the same
so
thing. Yeah.
mesmerizing. Like you can watch glass blowers at Disney World, which is closed right now
You
because
can also watch them at a bunch of
But-
artist
You-
collectives
You can
downtown.
also just
Yeah,
go to
downtown.
Northeast. Yeah.
but
you can
like,
actually do it
There's
too.
also a show on Netflix that's a competition glass blowing, and like I suggest you
that's a
watch
thing.
it, cause like you just like watch it go into the fight. It's beautiful. It's one
glass-
of my favorite.
glass blowing is
pastimes.
I think it'd be really rad to see like a Mark IV Supra, like a 1,000 horsepower Mark IV Supra, like on the highway, and you can see through its straight pipe exhaust, huge giant like 4-inch like inner diameter exhaust pipe fart can, and then all the way out the end of it is like boiling lava hot catalytic. That would be
I think-
really
Imagine
cool.
the
Like, that'd
Karens
be
that get
so
freaked
cool.
out about this.
Yeah.
All fart
exactly.
cans need to be full of ceramic matrix.
Yes.
Matrices.
Actually,
Yes.
I think I might do that in the Cressidas. I might
Do it.
put a catalytic converter at the very end.
The only thing is
instead of a
you will
muffler.
need to run your engine very rich to heat it up like that far away. If you're not just completely reaming on it all the time.
So you're telling me I also want to be shooting flames too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which
Scare
will
Karen.
be even cooler.
It breaks down the cat a little quicker, but whatever.
Man.
Flies in the Karen's windshield, and Safelite gets more money. So
Pretty
it's good
much.
for the economy.
My E30 M3 has definitely shot chunks of ceramic out of its exhaust.
So speaking of boiling lava hot
Yes.
temperatures,
I love that term so much.
so I want to talk about aero-gels.
What
For
is
a
that?
Oh.
An aerogel is a gel, or it is quite literally a gel actually. 5% air. So that
Oh,
was
that's a
originally
lot.
used
Yeah.
in like, or not air, but it's unused space.
But like
Okay.
not water,
no,
air.
air.
Okay.
It was originally used in aerospace as a heat resistant material
Huh.
because there's so much area for heat to
Well, I'm
escape
sure it's
in.
a lot lighter.
Yeah, and it doesn't weigh anything either. You're correct. And it's also not bad for you like asbestos.
Yeah.
But so
If you have mesothelioma,
yeah, I know, right?
call Meshbesher and Spence.
But so the so aerogels have been used originally in aerospace, and now it's being used with EV technology because it's such a good heat transfer material that they use it in. They actually
Heat transfer, insulation.
yeah.
Which one?
Sorry, both.
Is it a good or a bad?
It's both. It can do either. Depending on how you have it made, it can do
Huh,
both, and
okay.
how you use it. It can be either insulation or a heat transfer.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because what you do is, if you hold it, you can run a plasma torch up against one side of it and still hold it by hand on like a 3-inch thick piece.
That's kind of neat.
But what you can do is, along that one surface that's hot, you can transfer heat that way.
So,
Yeah.
interesting. So it
So-
transfers really well in a linear.
Exactly. So it's a really cool material.
Is this what it looks like here?
No, those are durians.
What is that?
It's a
That-
stinky fruit.
It is the stinkiest fruit. It's called the king of the fruits, and it's a very popular fruit in Southeast
Is
Asia.
it tasty?
Delicious.
It's very tasty,
I
but
want
it
one now.
smells so bad that it's banned on most subways.
Yeah, you can't bring it on an airplane because it smells so bad.
So I'm guessing the durian fruit has a role and a relationship to this.
Yes, because actually
Okay.
the thing that makes it stink, you can actually create a really, really effective aerogel out of it. A carbon-based aerogel. So basically what you do is when you have your durian, you eat the yummy bit, and then the bit
The
that
not
stinks.
stinky bit.
Yeah, you take the stinky bit, you autoclave it to 180 degrees Celsius. That creates a hydrogel. Then you freeze dry it for 24 hours. That will create an aerogel, and then you put it in a blast furnace at 800 degrees Celsius.
This sounds like it takes a tremendous amount of resources to make it.
Not really,
That's a lot of heat. That's a lot of energy.
but 1 second. You put it in a furnace for 800 degrees Celsius for an hour, and that creates a carbon aerogel. And then you can make that. You can use that for insulation or heat transfer, whatever, however you decide you want to configure it. And that's actually that furnace. You can get a kiln up to that hot.
Well, yeah, but a kiln uses a shit pile of electricity.
Well, what's cool about this is you can make aerogels at home now with durian. So you can make like a home brewed aerogel solution, and it's actually really sustainable, and it's actually about a tenth the amount of energy it takes to make aerogels normally.
That's cool.
So that's actually really cool. And
that sounds like a parallel to
Yeah.
as they pull. What's the gas they pull out of water?
Oh,
Hydrogen?
Yeah, hydrogen.
Yeah.
That's like the whole issue with the world is like we need to figure out a way to efficiently pull gas out
Yeah.
of water, or efficiently make hydrogels out of.
exactly.
Durian.
And like this, because like, you know, they do go through like a lot of durian, like in Southeast Asia.
Oh yeah,
like
tons.
I think
tons
I would
of it.
too if
so
it's that
and it's
tasty.
creating like that's
It makes-
reducing food waste if you're able to turn, because like.
Right.
What
yeah.
you were describing to me
Yeah.
is the stinky part
That's
is
the
the
trash part.
largest
That's the part that it's the majority of the fruit. So durian's about this big. So it's about it's
That
huge.
thing at the top of the article is that big?
Yeah, they're about a foot wide.
For the audio listeners, that's 12 inches.
It's a spiky, stinky fruit.
Yeah, they're
Bigger than a pineapple.
Yeah, you don't want them to fall on you.
That
It's
would hurt.
actually it's a little bit bigger than a pineapple actually.
Wow.
They're kind of like the size of a melon.
And the edible piece of it is about the size of a kiwi.
Holy
Oh.
cow! So the
Yeah.
rest
So
of
that's
it
a lot
would
of
be just be
waste.
waste.
There's a lot of waste with the durian.
lot of
yeah.
food waste,
And
so-
it smells unbelievably bad. It is
I'm picking up on the.
the worst smell you've ever smelled.
Apparently, in the United States, the durian is not as good as where it originates in Southeast Asia.
It's like,
like the flavor or the odor?
the
if-
flavor.
if you combine like rotting onions,
Ooh.
sewage,
Ooh.
and turpentine together. It is that.
it's
so-
real nasty.
It's real
Wow.
bad. Yeah, it is remarkably bad.
Not
so-
to mention its spiky appearance. How did anyone think to eat the damn
I
thing?
have no idea. Like,
The
Jana,
desperation would have been very real.
I need an anthropologist to tell me why on earth somebody decided that would be
Well,
something worth eating.
Probably, I don't know.
Oh,
like,
shoot. I did not
so
mean to do
not that an anthropologist would know. I don't think anthropologists answer those questions, but you know, somebody studying human evolution, I guess that would be an anthropologist. But
Do you think like somebody-
probably because of like limited resources, you know, like when we have limited resources, we'll do anything. So they probably,
That's all they could
like
find.
that's all that they could find because they used up all the rest of their resources, and they're
And that
like,
makes
this
sense,
thing
yeah.
looks
And then it turned out to be
like
delicious.
it cracked open one day, and they're like, oh, that smells, and then after a couple of days, they're like,
Maybe
we
we should
need
try that thing in
food."
there. What's that taste like?
Yeah.
Tastes delicious.
Yeah.
But so all right, so this is a thing with this as a insulator. You can use that for super efficient batteries.
Or like, yeah, well, I mean, or just insulation.
Yeah,
I mean,
or
if you
insulation.
have that much of it.
Yeah, and then you can also. I mean, there's tons of automotive applications that you can use for that. So like you can run that as like a turbo blanket. You can make an aero-gel out of a Durian for a turbo
And
blanket.
it's carbon based, so presumably it's pretty strong too.
It's very strong, yeah. So
So you could even use it potentially in a car structure.
you theoretically could actually, yeah, because actually, with most modern cars, when you use them you fill the frame rails with foam to strengthen them. So you could probably create something like that with it. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I read this on Ars Technica, and I think that the Durian aerogel thing is really one of the coolest innovations. You can also make it have jackfruit as well, if that's
Okay.
more common. But
I don't know what that is either.
that's
It's-
another Southeast Asian,
Oh.
Australian.
Yeah,
Is it
it-
also stinky?
No, it's
actually
not
delicious.
stinky, but like a lot of people use, like if they're vegan, they'll use it as a meat substitute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
alright.
like,
So it's
there's
kind
a
of
lot
like
of
soy here.
jackfruit, like pulled pork is
Yeah.
like the most.
Is it a
famous
subsidized thing like soy is for us here?
No,
or no?
not at
No.
all.
Okay.
But yeah, so however, between the durian and the jackfruit, because of the durian structure, that actually makes a more effective carbon aerogel
Fair enough.
out of it, which I thought was really cool.
I mean, it's a great technology. I know solid-state batteries utilize carbon-based stuff a lot too. So I mean, there's potential for even beyond the
yeah.
lithium iron sulfate batteries we use today.
Well, that's where they were running into issues with super efficient solid-state batteries, was being able to actually have
Right.
an insulation that's
Or
Light enough.
I think
Yeah, light
I
enough.
think it's actually heat transmission because
Oh,
they
is
couldn't
it?
get the heat away from the carbon
okay.
structure quickly enough.
Yeah, so
they would overheat.
yeah. So then you can do it, because the way that these are actually are made is they still retain the shape of the durian. So you could. I'm not 100% sure how you use it for heat transfer.
I assume.
But I
they
think what you
process it
do
and
is
break
you-
it down.
I think you actually
Must
run
be
a
a
different
paste or
medium
something.
in between it.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what you do.
Okay.
And then that will allow you to transfer heat without heating up everything around it.
Sure. I mean,
I
can
think that's
see
how it would work on that.
if it transfers, in a linear fashion,
Linear,
not an
yeah.
axial fashion, then yeah, if you like wrapped a really thin layer of like nickel or something between layers of this carbon,
Yeah.
you could pull a shit pile of heat out of it.
And that's what they do with traditional aerogels, like in like NASA, is you can run it that way. But I think with this one, since it'll still, unless you process it, it'll still keep the structure of the durian. I think you'll actually be able to run kind of like when people pour aluminum down like an old anthill or something. They'll,
I pour molten aluminum down anthills.
but I mean, like if like
Beautiful.
that's actually like a form of sculpture making that people do. And so
If
it's-
you guys have never YouTubed that, by the way, do it
Yeah,
because it
it's-
is gorgeous.
yeah, so
like glass blowing.
exactly,
Very
yeah.
similar. It's very natural fluid shapes.
I imagine they'd probably do something
Digression.
like that with the aerogel.
I mean, more technology is always great. I mean, even if this sits on a shelf for 10 years or something like that before somebody's able to, make use of it, I think it's still fine.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's big, as big as the transistor, but it's one of those things where it's like you had the transistor that made modern electronics possible, and right now we're looking for something that's going to be able to make like a functional aerogel that can make super efficient batteries possible. This might be it.
It might be it. Otherwise, like, we always need better means of heat transmission and insulation. So either way,
This also benefits like small, like developing nations in Southeast
Yeah.
Asia. Like if you have a ton of durian and everybody eats durian,
and you have a bunch of power.
yeah, like or not even a bunch of power. You have a bunch of durian husks which you can burn
Yeah.
in a kiln. Yeah.
Can you get an outdoor kiln that hot? Like when you use wood, because that does use a lot of resources.
The
but-
issue is
Wait, 800 C?
800 degrees Celsius,
Yes,
and
you
you
can.
you want to do it in a nitrogen.
You might need
enriched
some
atmosphere.
introduction of additional air
Yeah.
To make it that, yeah, it's not hard to get wood fires up to like 12 to 1600 degrees Celsius. I mean,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
800 degrees
So you
is
could
totally
do it with
doable.
limited
Yeah,
technology.
you can. You can do it on small scale. So that's what I thought was so cool about this. You can now make an aerogel at your house. So like,
Try this at home, kids.
yeah, I know, right? Like you can home. Well, I mean, like, it's cool.
Ask your parents if you can make an aerogel out of a durian fruit.
You can home brew aerogel now.
Smells so bad.
Take that, Karen.
Jimmy, you need to take out your socks. It's not my
damn it,
socks,
Karen.
Mom.
So I thought everybody would appreciate that.
I appreciate the technology. It's cool to learn
It's
about
really
stuff like
cool.
that because it's completely out of the limelight. Nobody even thinks to mention something like that. It might have been a better I learned this week thing, but either way, I'm not at all mad about it. I want to transition very quickly to a car maker that we and the rest of the world don't care about. However,
God, we railed
I
on
am
this car maker.
mentioning this car manufacturer because the thing that they're making, probably for like a week before they cancel it, has been spotted in the wild with a manual.
Oh, look at that.
So, the Cadillac CT-5, which I understand, I don't know what it is either. So it turns out this is a CTS V. It's a CT-5V.
Why did they just call it the CTS?
I don't know. Well, I don't thought to call it the Catera. But either way, a prototype of this has been spotted with a 7-speed manual. And that's cool. I'm going to mention anything that crops up in the world with a stick shift at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
fair.
Ultra Performance CT-5V. Honestly, I'm excited
surprised.
about this because right now we've talked about the G70 a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only kind of highline luxury sedan you can buy right now with a manual. The ATS is on its way out. This is the kind of ATS CTS successor.
Why don't they just call it the ATS?
I don't know. I understood what an ATS was. I know what a CTS is. Yet we have this.
I thought
Call it a
this-
Cimarron. I don't care. But the fact that it has a manual, and I
That's
mean, it
really
looks
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
So the new Catera
The
looks
new
really
Catera
cool.
has a stick,
Yeah,
which
that's awesome.
is good. I'm sure it has a fabulous engine.
The drive is really good at just finding all the stuff in the woodwork.
And this might be like,
Really
who knows?
surprised,
Might
'cause
be a specific market only
I don't think I've heard of a Cadillac ever having a manual.
Oh, the
The
CTSs have
CTS
always
did,
had them.
yeah.
hmm
Yeah, they had manuals. I mean,
That was kind of the claim to fame for at least the Gen 2 CTSV. Like, hey, we have this 555 horsepower LSA, and it's a
Okay.
manual.
yeah, you can get a manual V8 rear-wheel drive wagon
Wow.
from Cadillac.
All
And
right,
they
that's
are-
really awesome.
Yeah,
You
so
look at
that's
the
why-
purchase price of those now, it's more used with a bunch of... It's like the 1M.
Yeah.
You pay more now for that car than you did new.
So that's why everybody gets really excited when they see Cadillac CTSs
Yeah.
at car shows. So if you ever see like all my friends just running to a Cadillac CTS, that's why.
Yeah,
Because you can
okay.
get an LS
I just
manual rear-wheel drive wagon.
my director drives a Cadillac crossover, and that's just what I
But
imagine.
the
That's
crossovers were never sold.
That's
with
what
the stick.
almost all of them are crossovers.
Yeah, that's just like
so
I just assume
the vast majority
Cadillacs
suck.
are crossovers.
Yeah,
so-
like an SRX or something like that, or whatever they call the new SRX, the
I have
XT.
no idea.
No, what was the old big sedan? They renamed their crossover that.
What?
It's an XTS. That's what it is.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, they went from the
Okay.
DTS to the XTS, the big sedan, and now their crossover, like their Equinox, is an XTS. I'm just like, that makes no sense.
This alphanumerical soup means
That's like
nothing
when you
to me.
called that wagon thing Taurus.
Do you remember when
Can
they
we-
used to just name all their
Yeah.
cars after towns in Spain? Like that was really
I
nice.
really miss
Yeah,
car
Milan and-
manufacturers
well,
naming.
Milan
Mer-
as Mercury.
Mercury, yeah.
No, I'm thinking like the Seville, the
Oh.
Deville, the Catera. Like
That was a town in Italy, the Catera?
no, it's Spain, I think.
Oh, Spain, sorry.
Because I know Seville's in Spain. I think Deville is in Spain. But
But yeah, can car manufacturers just keep coming up with names? I don't like these numbers because I never know what anybody's talking about because I'm very dyslexic.
so this is the irritating thing is when you have a car have an actual name, that's different. That's a lot harder to market from one country to another than an alphanumerical
I
something or other.
understand, but I literally never know what anybody's talking
Yeah,
about.
no,
I just, if you mention letters and numbers, I'm gonna shake my head like I know what you're talking about, but I absolutely do not know what you're talking
well,
about.
it's like with like Subaru in the 80s, the GL10 was also called the Leon and
Yeah.
the Loyal and the GL, and they had a different name everywhere. And Honda's actually pretty good about being normal. But I mean, like, there are a lot of manufacturers that just completely change the name of a car for no reason. Like, this is the Geo Metro was called the Suzuki Swift.
Yeah.
The Suzuki Cultist, Cultist?
No.
It was Cultist. Yeah.
I guess I've never seen one of those.
That was in everywhere except for Japan and America. It was called the Vauxhall Metro. Like, they had all these different names for the Suzuki Swift. Like, in every country they had a different name for it. It's super weird.
So the takeaway from this topic is car names are confusing and manuals are awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is,
Pretty much.
You could have.
I just did a little bit of research. I'm like, I legitimately can't find either the sedan or the CUV we were just talking about from Cadillac because they're pulling a Lincoln Infinity. We have no idea what the thing you just made is, but I know that is a relatively mid-size-ish sedan with power and a manual. So that's cool.
That's cool. I wish I knew what it was.
Right. Like these great cell phone pictures taken out of a 90s potato. I'm like, that's great. But
these photos like these are actually snuck through the factory. You're not supposed to be able to see this.
Right, but we do. So thank you, The Drive.
Also,
thank you for not trying to force me into not using ad block anymore.
Yeah.
We used to not use your articles at all because of that. So.
Yeah, that is true.
Either way.
What was it? There's the Audi e-tron that is,
Also known as an e-tron.
which is shit in French.
French and shit. Yep.
Yeah, shit in French.
Shit in French.
And then there was the Nova in South America, which meant no-go.
And then Toyota MR2 in France, which is merde, MR2, which is shit.
Which means shit.
Same thing as e-tron.
When Toyota first came to America, they called their cars the Toyo Pets as a last-minute name change because they almost called it the Toyo-let.
Mm-hmm. We did talk about this one.
So, Jana, this is why they...
Oh, Scott just said another one. The Renault Le Car meant bus in French. But it was a Renault 5 in France.
Yeah, so this is why they changed names.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. I'm just saying the numbers and letters are just so confusing.
Why is the internet here shitty?
So another really good one is when Lada
Wi-Fi.
came to everywhere except for the Soviet Union, because you were just kind of given a car in the Soviet Union. They didn't care about the name, so the name was literally just a bunch of numbers. So a 21023 was a Lada Riva wagon for the police. So in England, because they didn't want to give somebody an area code for the name of their car, they decided just to call it the Lada Riva Estate. And they did simplify it. And so other brands, so that's kind of where this whole naming thing is, where you have to kind of simplify for other markets.
Yeah.
And then Lada Riva is such a completely different name. Is everything going okay? Because I see OBS looks like it crashed. Are we okay?
Wait a second. The Twitch is currently offline.
Okay, well, I'll just keep rapping about Lada, I guess,
Do it.
for the foreseeable future. But see, that's the thing is, you need to be careful with how you name cars, but when you're naming your cars, you have to be consistent with it. You can't be like Cadillac doing a never-ending alphanumerical soup that changes with every generation. It has to be something like,
God,
you know,
10, piece of shit.
if you look at, say, a Volvo 245. Jan, what do you think a Volvo 245 is? Because you know what a Volvo 240 is, right?
Yeah, it's that wagon.
Yeah, it's a wagon. So Volvo's alphanumerical soup's really simple. 2 was the second trim level from base model. So the 1 series was their base. 2 was their second one up. And then the 4 would imply a 4-cylinder, and 5 would imply 5 doors. So 2, 4, 5. So that made sense. And then when
So it's a hatch?
Yeah, it's a wagon. It's a 5-door.
Okay.
It's a 5-door wagon. So that's why when you see those old Volvos from the 70s that are 240s that the round headlights are called 245s.
Am I thinking of the 242? That was the Bertone.
The 240 no, the 242 is their race car. It was a 2-door of
What's the Bertone one?
The Volvo 740 Bertone. 7 was their highest trim level.
Oh, okay.
And then they had the 740 Bertone.
I thought it was a 745 or something.
No, 745 is a BMW.
Well, I know that, but I just thought it had a weird...
Yeah, no, but it was, you just called it Bertone Coupe.
780. That's
Yeah,
what it was.
780, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then they also had a really cool flip-up headlight hatchback as well. Are we back on Twitch?
We are.
All right, good. I was running out of Alpha Miracle Soup to talk
I
about.
swapped over to the association Wi-Fi because apparently my 100 megabit symmetrical internet here can't handle 2,000 kbps constantly.
That's
What
I-
a load of crap. I have commercial network hardware
Bloodsky
in
told
here.
me to move to Infinity.
Nobody knows anything about Infinity.
Infinity doesn't mean anything. Everything's a Q something or other. I don't know what
Q
any of it
means
is.
sedan, QX means SUV. Beyond that, I have no clue.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. So anyway, I want to talk about the Amelia Island concourse.
Of course you do. Cool.
Did you know that a Deusenberg Model J won? Yeah, surprising.
I did not know that. That was a very weak. That was
that's
better.
So
Pre-war bell.
I actually I looked up this guy because I had some time when I was pooing.
Is this Japlopnik?
This one actually was originally from Haggerty, but what I want to talk about is not the car, because I don't care that Deusenberg won Amelia Island. That's to be expected. I want to talk about George Whittell Jr., the man who purchased and spec'd out said Deusenberg. Because this
Originally?
dude, yeah, this dude might be the most eccentric Deusenberg owner I've ever heard of.
Well, they're all very eccentric, so
Well,
that's interesting.
This guy, like,
This guy
Takes the
like
cake.
fights Jay Gatsby.
seriously, this dude's like,
Is he old or new money?
he is
Old money.
He's,
Old money.
He's
Nice.
an heir to old money. He
So-
never worked a day in his life.
Okay, so he's a St. Paul folk, not a
Yeah.
Minneapolis
Yeah.
folk.
He
Okay.
he lived to be like 80 or something,
Pig's Eye.
and he never worked a day in his life, ever. He just lived off his money from PG&E because his father founded Pacific Gas and Electric, and he was originally they got their money for Pacific Gas and Electric from the gold rush.
So how nice was his Summit Avenue mansion?
It was unbelievable. You know, he actually he never really liked what he was given in life. I mean, he definitely used it, but I mean, the thing is, he really got to use as much as
Can
possible.
I share my favorite part?
I'm getting to it. Because I'm just getting to him as a kid. When he was a teenager, he actually he like ran away and joined the circus. Literally, when he was 14 years old. Didn't tell anybody where he was going. He went missing for like years. And then came back when he was like 17 after being at the circus for years. And so when he came back, his parents had discovered that he had married a chorus girl from a cabaret.
Is that
Yeah,
this
this
chick?
is my favorite part. No, that's not.
This is not this one.
Okay.
But then, as they were getting married, he found out that the chorus girl was really excited about it because she knew that he had a lot of money,
Ah.
and so he divorced her, and immediately got engaged to another chorus girl.
Which, like, by the way,
Is that this one?
No.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, honey?
like, so she married him for money, but none of the money he had was his. So she got zero
Nothing.
things.
None
So
of
he
it.
probably got more out of the divorce than
So
she
it's
did.
like a shell corporation. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. And the second wife did the same thing. And so, anyway, World War I starts, and he's literally bored, so he decides to go to war.
He wasn't drafted. He was
wasn't
just bored.
He's like, I want to go to war.
He did the circus.
Wanna go to war,
Thought war
see?
would be fun.
Oh my
He
god.
had nothing to do. He's just a bored playboy. So he goes to war. He's an ambulance driver, fights on the front line briefly. And then he comes back. When he comes back, he has another wife. This one is French. The one
Is that
pictured.
this one?
Yes, that's the one photo.
All right, the one pictured. Now.
This one actually lasts. So that's good.
Did she surrender to him?
I imagine she did.
The white flag of war.
Yes. So now it's George. It's post-war at this point. It's the 1920s. It's roaring. Everybody's excited. This guy has all of the money in the world, right? So he decides he's to start collecting Deusenbergs. This is where this car comes in. Well, when he's collecting Deusenbergs, he also collects his menagerie of exotic animals, and he gets this cat.
Ooh.
If you can bring up a photo of his cat from the Carbitrage notes, you'll love his cat. His cat's really cute.
Can this real
Yeah,
quick?
his cat. He is the cutest cat in the world. This is his cat,
Cat Bill?
Bill. Yes.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. What a good boy.
Peter. there.
So this is Bill, his cat.
He was the biggest
Dude.
fan of the Deusenbergs.
He was.
This reminds me of a cat down at the wildlife sanctuary we go to whenever I visit the Myers in Texas.
So when George got Bill the cat, Bill is a lion. For people I can't see, he is quite
He's
literally.
one big kidder.
Oh, he's quite literally a lion. He got.
King of the scritches.
Yes,
Yeah.
he is. He actually raised Bill from a kitten. He got him, and Bill's favorite thing to do was to go on rides.
Oh my god.
And the Deusenberg that actually won Amelia Island still had scratches in the seats from Bill.
awesome.
Yeah. So
Oh my god, this is epic.
this guy is great, right? Anyway, so he collects his Deusenbergs. He's got Bill's his cat. And
His
then
wife also has a cheetah.
so he decides he wants to just not be part of PG&E anymore, like at all. He doesn't even work. He's on the board of like trustees. He's like, I don't want any of this. Takes all of his money, all of his stock he has in PG&E, he takes and he pulls it out of the stock market in September of 1929.
Oh, that's just before a certain
Weeks before the
crash.
stock market crash. Anyway, so I can only imagine at this point in time, he's decided that he's going to buy the Nevada half of Lake Tahoe, which he literally bought the entire half of Lake Tahoe in Nevada because it's a tax haven. And so he goes there with what I can only imagine is his French wife, a Deusenberg full of money bags, everything he owns strapped to the roof, and money blowing out the
And Bill.
windows while Bill like bats around a wad of 20s in the back.
Like
So-
I'm rolling in money in a Deusenberg.
Oh,
He
what
gets
a
this.
Good boy.
He gets his cat, or he gets his wife a cat as well. She had a leopard.
Oh.
He collects other animals. He's got a bear, a bunch of other cute
I
animals.
don't care about that.
But he bought the majority of Lake Tahoe because he wanted his animals to have somewhere to go run around outside. And actually, Bill lived to be 20 years old.
That's a lot for a lion.
Lions only live to be about 14 in the wild. So actually, at this point in time, he was taking better care of his menagerie of animals than zoos were taking of their animals.
Bill.
I know, look how cute he
And
is.
he'd take them on rides in their Duesenbergs and bring
And
them
look at
onto
those murder
his yacht.
mittens.
Yes.
This guy's ballsy.
Yes,
'Cause,
he
like,
was.
that he could die in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, there's a really beautiful Art Deco photo of his wife on a like chase lounge with her leopard.
Yeah, if you look up, if you just Google George Patel Jr., yeah, and then like George Patel Jr. lion, and then you'll get pictures of Bill.
2 T's or 1?
Whittell.
Whittle.
Yeah, Whittle
And
lion. If you go through the Google, there's
Yeah,
a
there-
picture right there of her leopard.
oh, what a sweet kitty.
Isn't this great? And he also had an elephant
I don't care.
and a greyhound.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's such a small photo. I'm sorry,
It doesn't matter.
it's so cute.
Yo.
And his wife loved her cat.
Oh.
So the lion hated going on his wood yacht called the Thunderbird, but that cat liked going on the yacht. So it was really funny that whenever they go on the yacht, Bill would wait for them at the end of the dock.
Oh, buddy. Was he pouting?
Really cute. I can
Did he
only
have a
imagine.
green light waiting for them?
He's literally
Oh, Bill.
the best story ever.
These are the goodest giant catos.
Yep. When George Whittle Jr. eventually died, he gave back all of his land for his animals, gave it back to the University of Nevada for conservation. Really, really cool guy. The most wholesome, perfect Duesenberg owner ever. So yeah, this guy, I needed to talk about him because the dude collected adorable cats.
Just such
With,
kitties.
I know, right? This is perfect. I love this. This is like the best story
Can
ever.
I also mention that photography back in the day required absolute stillness,
Yeah.
and there are perfect photographs of both his wife's leopard and his lion.
That's our good kitty.
Those are very,
Very
good
good
critters.
kitties. Yes. They're very cute.
Oh.
That means like those animals
heart.
trusted them
Yes.
super.
Well,
also
was
lived-
the leopard raised from a kitten too?
Yes. And what was actually really cool is they actually lived with prey species and they didn't attack the prey. So like there was an elephant that like the lion and the leopard could have easily eaten, and
So
they chose
this is
not
like
to.
the Tom and Jerry cartoon,
Yeah.
but for real.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I think it's like the best thing ever.
They also had a greyhound
Yes, they did. And
But
yes, I forgot to talk about that.
They had the greyhound, and they only got the greyhound so the leopard had somebody to run with.
And the greyhound and the leopard would do zoomies back and forth.
Because the damage.
Yeah.
The damage.
Well, when they were outside, because the greyhound
Okay.
needed to be like in a fenced area, so the leopard would be on the other side of the fence. They'd do zoomies back and forth. So cute.
Ah, I'm dying.
So yeah, that is the story
Giant
of
kitty
George
zoomies.
Whittell Jr., the most Deusenberg owner ever.
Who is a secret conservationist.
Yeah,
In the 20s, like
the,
that doesn't.
the coolest guy in the world. So you literally cannot beat that guy.
He's so much cooler. My next story, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's so lame in comparison.
I put that one out last.
Oops. I unlasted it because I didn't have my last topic.
Well, here, why don't you tell us about your last topic, or do you want to make this your first topic for next week's episode? Because you're going to be heading off that episode since I headed off this one.
Hold on. Just bear with me one moment. Let me look at next episode.
We're like right on the money for where we should be ending, so.
You know, yeah.
All right, let's
we'll
just-
do this topic next week. What did we learn?
What I learned last night, weirdly enough, Lizzie McGuire.
I remember that.
Surprisingly good movie.
Oh, the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Yeah.
specifically.
What year was that movie? released?
2003.
Ah, crap.
Also,
So I can't watch it.
yeah, no, you can on Disney Plus.
No, I don't have it on Laserdisc.
Oh.
You
darn.
know that about me.
We might be able to find it on HD DVD.
Yeah, it is a
Let
surprisingly
me
good
do
movie.
a quick here Google.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was shocked
It
by how
was-
good that was.
And it's funny.
I will say we've been surprised by some really odd Truth About Cats and Dogs
Yeah.
from '93.
Exactly.
Excellent movie.
Yeah.
So, like,
and has the most realistic phone sex scene of every movie
yeah.
ever.
Since
Oh, actually, also Alex Borstein,
Sorry, Jenna.
short little round Jewish lady, Alex Borstein, Lois from Family Guy. She's in the Lizzie McGuire movie.
yeah, she's
Really?
The, she's
Oh,
the
her
chaperone.
voice. That would be hard to get around.
But the Lizzie McGuire movie, I've been trying to get Ryan to watch it since I have it. I've got the DVD, but it's skipping because I watched it so much as a child. But I've been trying to get him to watch it,
I wouldn't
and
give it the
he
time
was
of day.
fighting it. And then we needed a short movie to watch last night,
It's
and
not
I was
available.
like, the Lizzie McGuire movie, and he's like, okay. And then he watched it, and he was like, wow, it's filmed in Italy. It's got
The
all
cars
the
are
cutest
perfect.
cars.
They
Really?
nailed it. Yeah,
The cover art makes it look like it's going to be an NSYNC music video.
I know. That's why I didn't want to watch it. It
Well,
looked awful.
I understand that.
And so I watch it. The love interest in it, this guy named Paolo, he drives a 2-stroke Vespa, and his security guard has a convertible, mid '90s E-Class,
Okay, W210
Yeah.
or a late 124.
late 124.
Okay.
Convertible. Very
Ooh,
cool.
300 CE.
Yeah, very cool. And then Powell also has this really cool
Coach built something.
yeah,
or
Coach
another.
built smart, which it's just it's really weird. It's
Like a Brabus or something.
Yeah.
it's like a debodied smart basically. It's really cool. I need to look at what that is. I was gonna go on IMCDB and I forgot.
I guess I could torrent it.
I would
Yeah.
highly recommend it. It is worth your time. Totally worth watching. So yeah, that's what I learned. Jan, what did you learn?
What did I learn? Well, school has been shut down, so I didn't learn anything because that's education. Well, it's also spring break. But, at work, I've discovered, so I've just, I've always been much more of a cat person than a dog person. I
Yes.
don't have anything against dogs, but I'm slowly building up things against dogs because ever since the service road to the building we rent from for my preschool has closed because people were using it as a shortcut to get onto Highway 100, and the church didn't want to maintain a public road, so they closed it off. And ever since then, the neighborhood has decided that it's an off-leash dog park.
Oh my god.
So the
That sounds
dogs
poorly.
run up to our windows and
Rile the
distract
kids
the
up.
kids during valuable teaching time. And there's no way you can compete with a rogue dog as a preschool teacher.
Pretty much no.
And so that has always
It makes me think of
irked
Sandlot.
me. And then also, because, like, I leave out of the side entrance, which is where they often walk their dogs, I'll have dogs run up to me as I'm trying to get into my car. And thankfully, I'm, like, somewhat of a dog person. So, like, I'm okay with it. But I get really nervous because there's dogs running in a parking lot that I have to drive through.
Well, there's a 90-pound bag of meat hurtling towards you,
Yeah,
and you don't
and
know
so,
why.
like, so, like, I'm not...
That's true.
I usually can see them
meat
while I'm
and
walking
bones.
out, but there's been times where I've been surprised by dogs, and I really don't like that at the end of the day.
I mean, even at work, our shop, there are 2 or 3 people there that have, like, adorable, very
Yeah.
clean labs, but they bring them to work, and, like, sometimes they're out of their kennel, and, like, I'm trying to do my job, and I'm holding laptops and stuff,
Yeah.
and one will just jump up
Yeah.
up on me
Oh,
and
no.
lick my face. I'm like, buddy,
You're very cute, but please stop.
please stop it. I'll pet
Yeah.
you in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Go pet him. 'cause
And
he's
so,
cute.
like, I've been building this, like, ickiness towards dogs.
I can see that
I
in your
don't
face.
like it's just like I'm becoming more and more uncomfortable with them doing this because they also use our playground to just like let their dogs out. I'm like, this is
How much
private
dog
property.
poopy is there?
Well, now that the snow has melted, I'm
lot.
finding literally piles of like it's not
Of
even
dog
like
shit.
it's not piles of dog poop. It's piles of bags of dog poop.
What the hell?
Like, so
Dude,
they
dog
bagged it
owners
up,
are usually
and
the
they
worst.
And they've left them by our front entrance. They've left them in our playground. I was like, this is the most high traffic for children. Why are you leaving your dog shit? And we've got an industrial garbage can in our parking lot. Like, you're already walking your dog on your property.
So-
Feel
Right.
free to use our garbage, but you don't.
So you learned that you don't like dogs?
Because they're testing my limits because these people think that off leashing their dogs.
So you
in
learned where
public is
your limit
appropriate.
was with dogs.
Yeah.
Eric,
And
what'd you learn?
I learned that people will either be in. It's okay. I learned that COVID-19 is a very dualistic thing.
Yes.
You either do not care at all, or the world is ending.
Yes.
There you go.
I told the
I'm in the I don't care at all camp.
I had a delivery driver that said that she was like bragging. She goes, I just went to Dollar Tree and bought like $30 worth of toilet paper at Dollar Tree.
Part of the problem.
And I'm like, how much do you poop? And she goes, well, you know how long the stores are gonna be closed for? I'm like, okay, how much do you poop? Like,
Okay, let me reiterate. How much poop comes out of your butthole?
I buy a box of toilet paper every 6 months, maybe.
We last one did 9 months. The Costco one,
Yeah.
36 rolls or whatever. It's a lot, I get, but
I bought 36 rolls for my entire shop.
Corey just happened to run us out during the middle of a pandemic.
Thanks, Corey.
Yeah,
This is-
thank you,
but
Corgi
you got a
Kong.
bidet.
Yeah, you have a bidet.
Here I do.
Yeah.
Corey should have to drive half an hour out of his way to go use the bidet.
I made him buy the TP this time when
Good,
we
good.
found two
Yeah.
different packages of toilet paper at Hy-Vee.
Luckily,
Well, and
we
we
saw
went-
our Donald Trump backup roll. So
Excellent. Very
Yeah.
good.
No, we went to Trader Joe's. And
Trader's Joe.
And we've gone like 5 times in the last week, because like we're smart people. We're slowly stocking up, as opposed to panic buying.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
we're just like,
Having some stock on hand makes sense for this kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
like panic buying is just
no.
okay.
So we've been going to different grocery stores and buying like little bits here and there.
Sure.
And I wanted to just get 1 pack of toilet paper just in case. And I was like, oh great, Trader Joe's is gonna have a small pack.
Trader's Joe.
Trader's Joe is going to have a
Thank
small
you.
pack. And apparently, all of their, like, the only paper product left was napkins. And I'm like, dear God, what are you people thinking?
I
Like,
ordered on Prime now because I didn't want to deal with it. I'm like, I need TP, and then I guess I'll grocery shop.
Yeah.
So I placed my order. Right after placing it, about 5 minutes into it, your personal shopper has started your order. 15 seconds later, one of your items, I get a text message. One of your items is out of stock. Would you like to select and approve the substitute? It was like, your bag of tortilla chips, this brand isn't available. Do you
Oh.
want to sub for this one? I'm like, sure, I don't care.
Yeah.
Same amount, same price. 15 seconds later, again, this item's out of stock. Please log into your app to approve. TP's out of stock. Would you like these flushable wipes instead? I'm like, no. I would like to cancel my order.
Yeah.
So I had to
no.
cancel my order because, like, even Amazon is out of TP.
I will tell you that you can still get 1,000 rolls of toilet paper on Alibaba for 71 cents a roll.
Yeah, but how long does it take to ship? Because keep this in mind, paper products carry COVID-19 really efficiently.
Yeah.
So that would be
I would probably say 6 to 9 months.
Okay. That's
Just,
okay.
Just hold your butt for that long.
I am not gonna do that.
You can also get, according to another Eric I know, you can get bidets on Amazon Prime for $60. So
There you go.
I didn't see that.
So now you can get a bidet. That's our fact of the week. You can get a bidet on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
for
I mean
$60.
they sit on top of your existing turlet and they work pretty well.
There you go. Now we know. So anyway, thank you for listening to Carbitrage.
We will
That was
catch you
our-
we
guys
love you. Bye.
next week.
That was
if you're
our-
still alive, we'll be here. So
That was our fact for the day. Bye.
bye.